Battle through the firmament. Great world. Chapter 432 Limitless Abyssal Flame. Unair, you have to be careful. Those men of the purple-robed Marquis were killed in an instant. With our strength, we are nothing in the forbidden land of Star Moon Island. Two figures flashed across the dense forest. They were Zumo and Zhuyuan, who had quietly descended from the mountain peak. After listening to Zumo's words, Zhuyuan nodded slightly. He naturally knew when to be careful. His sense of danger was even higher than Zumo's. Currently, the energy in those forbidden areas of 4 academies' competition is very likely to be weakened. This is a great opportunity to enter. If you can obtain some kind of great fortune, not only you, but also my sect. Zumo said in a soft voice while Zhuyuan listened quietly. Even with his disposition, his eyes were filled with uncontrollable joy. When he was in the lower realm, he dominated the world and almost controlled the life and death of the continent. After arriving here, he had experienced all sorts of blows. His desire for power had become even crazier, and this time, it was an unprecedented opportunity to enter the forbidden area. He wanted to search for the remains of the ancient almighty expert. Xiaoyan, you are still no match for me. He flew at high speed. A faint smile flashed across Zhuyuan's eyes. He was more willing to compare himself with this fellow villager, who had also ascended from the lower realm. The energy fluctuation is unusual not far ahead. It is very likely to be the location of a forbidden area. Zhu Mo suddenly spoke. His tone carried some excitement. Whether he could succeed or not would depend on this time. Sizzle sizzle. It was as if endless black flames were gushing out from the ground within the boundless bamboo forest, instantly surrounding Xiaoyan and the others. The black flames were like the netherworld fire that came from the netherworld. As the flame spread, the bamboo forest within dozens of kilometers was completely corroded. The essence energy within was absorbed by the black flames, causing it to become even stronger. Damn it, this is an all-embracing nether flame. How can there be such a flame in a place like this? When the black flame appeared, the Xiaoao in Xiaoyan's body was immediately shocked, and he couldn't help but curse. All-embracing nether flame. Is it a monic flame? Xiaoyan was also shocked. This kind of flame could not be put out by using the water vapor formed by the origin key. Instead, it caused the flame to burn even more vigorously. No, but it is said that this flame was formed by the combination of a trace of fire source from the 6th-ranked monic flame, the underworld fire, and the turbid yin key from another dimension. It is a flame from another dimension, and it is extremely powerful. It has a corrosive effect, and ordinary origin keys are unable to extinguish it. The Xiaoao clenched its teeth tightly, as if it was extremely afraid of this all-embracing nether flame. This kind of flame will not immediately kill a person. Instead, it will devour the enemy's origin key bit by bit, causing it to die from exhaustion, just like the surrounding bamboo forest. Upon hearing this, Xiaoyan's heart was filled with shock. He looked around and saw that all the bamboo had withered and lost all signs of life. Is there no way to defend against it? Xiaoyan's eyes turned red. Even though Mu Yuyang and the others had used their ultimate move, they still couldn't resist it. Hong Long. Yes, but with your current strength, you can't defend against it. I heard that during the ancient war, a supreme expert casually waved out an all-embracing nether flame, turning all the land in the forest domain into hell. No living creature could escape death. In the end, it was the domain lord of forest domain who used the Supreme Saint Origin Key to extinguish it. Supreme Saint Origin Key. Xiaoyan's lips trembled slightly and his heart was filled with despair. Not to mention here, there might not even be a few Supreme Saints in the entire world. This is the forbidden area of the star domain. It has something to do with the heavens. How could there be such a flame? The Xiaoao muttered to itself. Xiaoyan and the others had serious expressions on their faces, and their eyes almost popped out of their sockets. They unleashed all the monic skill that they could. They didn't even consume a little bit of energy on this kind of flame. It's over. This forbidden area really isn't something we can break through. Mu Yuyang let out a bitter laugh. He kept the heavenly net sword in his hand and didn't put up any resistance. He had used all the killing moves he had previously used to almost split the heaven and earth apart, but it still didn't have any effect on him. Lindao, you are fast. Let's see if you can get out of here. Looking at the rapidly shrinking black flame circle, Mu Yuyang's expression calmed down and he said calmly, "No, we need to borrow the force of the key in the air to light up the sky. Wherever this flame is, it will burn the key in the air." Lindao also kept the Imperial Dragon Point Blue Spear into his interspatial storage ring. He silently looked at the surging black flames and felt unusually calm. He died just like that. Wu Shaoqi swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Her face was slightly pale, but she soon calmed down. Previously in illusory spirit space, if it wasn't for Xiaoyan's sudden rescue, she would have died a long time ago. This time, she died. In such a forbidden place where even a mighty warrior like the purple-robed Marquis could be killed, it wasn't a bad thing. I'm really sorry. It was all because of me that we were dragged into this. Xiaoyan clenched his teeth, his eyes slightly red. He looked at these people, his tone desolate. If not for him rushing into the bamboo forest and consuming the middle-aged man's origin key, these people would not have reached this kind of situation. There's no such thing as dragging us down. It can only be said that our strength is lacking. Mu Yuyang chuckled and looked at Xiaoyan. He patted the latter's shoulder with an indifferent expression. Lindao nodded and agreed with what Mu Yuyang said. Wu Shaoqi pouted and gently pounded Xiaoyan's chest. What does this have to do with you? It's all that white-haired old man's fault. Humph. Hearing this, Xiaoyan smiled and silently lowered his head. No matter what, there was a trace of guilt in his heart. Xiaoao, is there no other way? Xiaoyan did not give up and continued to ask. There is a way, but in the end, it's just one thing. Your strength is still too weak. Even if one of you has reached the Emperor cultivation, I have a way to get you out of here. The Xiaoao sat down and said with a frustrated expression. Hong. Before Xiaoyan could say anything, the black flame swept over like a madman, enveloping the entire sky in a pitch-black color. Endless corrosive energy covered the sky and covered the earth, instantly enveloping the four of them. Buzz! Just as the black flame was about to devour Xiaoyan, the storage ring in his hand suddenly buzzed. In the next moment, a stream of starlight that seemed to gather all the stars in the world gushed out and instantly shattered the black flame. The latter seemed to be filled with spirituality as it wailed and retreated. Xiaoyan and the Xiaoao exclaimed in shock at the same time. Before the two of them could regain their senses, in the depths of the bamboo forest, a bright beam of light suddenly shot up into the sky. The beam of light turned into a huge hand that could crush the heavens and earth. In just an instant, it appeared in front of Xiaoyan, and did not wait for the latter to speak. The giant hand clenched its 5 fingers and held Xiaoyan in its hand. In the next moment, the giant hand and Xiaoyan disappeared at the same time. There were only 3 burning black flames left on the spot. It was Mu Yuyang and the other 2. At this moment, the 3 of them had lost consciousness. The black flames around their bodies kept devouring their origin kiss until they died of exhaustion. Boom! Xiaoyan could only hear the continuous whistling sound by his ears. However, in front of him was an endless light. He could not see his surroundings clearly at all. It was as if after a moment or an endless amount of time had passed, the sound of the wind finally dissipated by his ears. You are here. Before he opened his eyes, an old voice suddenly exploded beside Xiaoyan's ear. This voice seemed to have come from the ancient times, and it contained an endless and boundless feeling. Just by hearing this voice, a boundless desolate feeling was reflected in Xiaoyan's mind. An indescribable coldness instantly rose in his heart. Xiaoyan suddenly opened his eyes, and sweat flowed down his forehead. He was breathing heavily. He had almost lost himself in that scene just now. When Xiaoyan saw the scene in front of him, he was stunned. There were endless tombs in front of him. It was unknown how many years had passed, but these tombs had long been covered with moss. They were filled with an ancient key, causing one's heart to tremble. Swoosh! Xiaoyan turned his head and looked in the direction where the voice came from. His expression could not help but freeze. That place was actually also a tomb. Different from the other tombs, there was an ancient tablet that had been corroded by the passage of time. The surface of the ancient tablet was covered with rust, and everything that was carved on it was blurry. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.